What's up, guys?
Hey guys, this is Scotch for Dummies.
4 guys on a Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase.
And it could be
this guy,
Little baby bottle.
21-year-old. Wait,
Why is it so small?
is it a shrink?
Is it DEWAR'S or DEWAR'S?
DEWAR'S. I'm
DEWAR'S.
going to say DEWAR'S. DEWAR'S 21 double.
Otherwise known as a little bottle.
The Quattro.
Yeah, so it's interesting how DEWAR'S has done this. They've made this big box for this little bitty bottle. So I guess
It is a little deceiving.
doesn't look as small on the thing.
Actually,
But
the box is the same size as regular size, 750
It
bottles,
is.
right?
It
So
is.
it,
So it's a little
You don't
bit
realize till
deceiving.
you get it out of the box that you
What the
didn't
hell
get what you
happened?
thought.
Well,
What
you know what's so stunning though is you look up. It's a 21-year-old Scotch for $50. Holy cow! I gotta try that.
And my hands are huge.
Fans, take a look at this. Can you believe that? Perhaps even.
Now, it is kind of, the color is nice. I mean,
color's
did
nice.
they do E150, you think?
We don't. I don't think they tell you
it says
that.
non-chill filtered.
It is non-chill filter.
Non-chill filtered, but
46% ABV.
Let me
so
start
that's all
pouring
nice.
this guy
Yeah,
while you
start
do some
pouring.
talking.
So the thing about this, so what DEWAR'S was looking for with this is they wanted a extra smooth. Their DEWAR'S is known for their smoothness because they double barrel things. They age their whiskey, their grains, and their malt separately, and then they put them together into barrels. At least they did. They're not doing as much as they used to. They put them together, age them in a barrel to get better smoothness. So with this, what they've done is they've aged their grains in barrels, and they've aged their single malts in barrels. Then they've blended the grains, so they have a blended grain whiskey, and they do the same with the malt. So you blended malt whiskey, they age in barrels for a certain amount of time. Then they put all those together, so you have a blended Scotch whiskey. That's the third staging, so we don't know how long that stays in there. And then they finish them in Oloroso sherry casks.
Oloroso.
So that brings that Oloroso sherryness into that. Hopefully puts an extra punch of sherry into these.
Maybe that's the color, hopefully.
Well, could be.
Hopefully, but
But
we
there's
do
some
know
magic involved because the barrels don't get bigger as they.
I'll be damned.
They're not miniature barrels?
Drunk
Drunk
angels.
Well, maybe the angels don't take as much as you might think.
So I do got to tell you, when I was pouring it, I was like, oh, got to be careful because this is not going to last very long.
Right. So anyway, we do know that all of the liquid's 21 years
It's all
old. 'cause
21
It does
years
have an
old,
age statement.
or older, yeah.
It does say on the side of the box here, tasting notes, subtle notes of cinnamon and ripe vine fruits, silky smooth finish, non-chill filter, no color added.
There you go. So
Well,
that's the
Bingo.
All right.
What kind of vine fruits? Like tomatoes or grapes?
Yeah,
Or-
If it tastes like
Oh my
tomato.
gosh.
All right. So
Come
let's put our nose to this.
That seems a little vague.
If I smell a freaking tomato, it's fine.
Too late now.
Yeah, so this whiskey has seen 4 different barrels, which is kind of unique.
Wow.
Barrels.
What's our price on this thing?
It's like
$50.
$49 for 375, so about $95 for a full bottle.
Okay.
46
Equivalent.
ABV.
And are all the bottles the tiny guy?
They are. Yeah, that's the other thing to note is this is part of a double lineup. This is the 21. There's a 27 that's finished in Palo Cortado sherry cask, and then there's a 32-year-old that's finished in PX sherry. So there's a little difference in that final finishing, even though they do get older, so it's not the same.
Well, it clings to the glass fairly well.
It does.
And the
Look
nose
at it.
is very nice.
That's
The
interesting.
nose is pleasant. It's really
Process.
sweet. It's fruity. I don't remember. You remember what you said? Cinnamon and vine fruit.
Vine fruits.
I get the cinnamon for sure. There's a hint of it.
There's a hint of it, but
Not
you can
much.
smell that grain whiskey.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I mean,
I'll tell you what, when I first nosed it, it was a lot more like deep sweet,
Yeah.
like burnt sugars
But
and
you
things
can
like
get that Oloroso in there too.
yeah, so what do you mean
Yeah.
by
Wow.
what does grain whiskey smell like? Is it like linen? Is it
No,
candy floss? What?
It's got a unique smell that I find in every grain, and I want to say, dare I say, green, like green hay, green straw. Before it's cut and dried out into hay, right? So when it's green, still staying right when you cut it.
Yeah.
If you've ever been in a hay field while they're cutting it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do smell that Oloroso.
That's pretty good.
Just light Oloroso, light cinnamon, nothing
Little
really
bit of
else in
barrel.
the
A
nose.
little bit of. They must be using spent barrels. Pretty spent barrels at least.
I forgot that it was 46 when I took a sip. I was like, oh, this got a little something to it. Doesn't it? Like,
Oh,
very
well,
nice. Not going to complain about that at all.
What was that price again?
like almost 50.
50 for a half bottle.
Yep.
$100 a bottle.
It does have a little pump. That could be the spice, though.
Well, it started out with the alcohol on the front palate, and then on the finish, the cinnamon kind of built
Yeah.
up and then faded back
This
down.
is really nice. You know, this is a whiskey that you can share with anyone. Now, it is a little on the pricey side. I'll admit that, but it is smooth. There's no bite. There's no aggressiveness to it. It's all balanced out. You know, the sweetness is in there. The barrel is definitely not over oaked, which is
Got a
surprising.
nice, the Oloroso, that finish there is pretty strong, actually.
Yeah, they do a nice job.
All right, I'll
Absolutely.
kick this off.
All
You
right.
guys think about this while I go, and I think I'm solid where I'm at. So, for a blended whiskey, I actually appreciate what they've done here. I appreciate the fact that they've not chill filtered. I appreciate the fact that they haven't added color. That 21 years, the flavor profile, the nose, that's all great. I love the fact that they're showcasing you can actually have a quality blended whiskey. I don't like the fact that they put it in a little bottle with the 50. I think that's a little bit shady, but I understand their points that they were making, and that's cool. But when I try to compare it to, price point comparison to the Revival, yeah, that Revival is going to have a little bit more maltiness to it. I'm coming in at a 3 because the nose had a little bit of a bipolar thing for me, right? I was getting that good sherry note, and I was like, "Oh, hello, lover," and then I'd come back, and all I got was grain. I was like, "Ah, are you serious?" And it kept going back and forth. The water did revive it for me. I love the fact that they came in at 46 ABV. I actually think it's a really, really good drinker. I think it's a wonderful Scotch, especially if you like sherries. And I do think it's something you should have on your bar. I think it tastes really wonderful. It's a solid 3. I was on the fence of a 3.5. I was right there, and I backed myself off, and I'm stepping down to a 3 because of the small bottle, because of a little bit of a hard grain flavor, or nose when it was neat. But I actually really enjoy it. I'm glad we picked this up.
All right. So I'm trying to compare this against other whiskeys, which I typically am not good at because I don't remember whiskeys very well. But that's part of our discussion here. I like this whiskey. It's flavorful. It's sweet. It's not as rich and deep. It's definitely not a 4 because it doesn't wow you. The price is pretty good. It's a little on the high end, but for what you're getting, I'm not sure it's that much on the high end because again, I care about the liquid in the glass. What is that flavor worth to me? And this is a pretty good price, especially because I don't drink a whole lot of like Scotch by the bottle. So this would be like perfect on my shelf because it's not a big thing. It's only $50. Good to go. I'm going to go with a 3.5 on this because
Ooh.
I like the sherry. It's really smooth. It doesn't bite you. It doesn't grab you. Nothing aggressive about this. The flavor's rich enough for me to notice. It could have more, and that's why maybe a 3.5 is a little high. But a 3.25 would probably be perfect, but we don't do that. So I'm going to go with a 3.5 on this one because I think it's worth it, and you can get it. You can get a bottle of it for a reasonable price. Well, it's only a half bottle, fair.
Sure.
But yeah,
But you can still get, it's achievable.
yeah.
It's not going to break the bank.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going about this a little differently tonight. So I'm thinking about this. Here are 2 major pluses with this. Number 1, I'll start with my second runner-up. It's the flavor of the sherry. It's predominantly sherry, which is great.
Sure.
I love it. It sticks through it from the nose to the beginning. The nose isn't super complex, but it's there from start to finish. My number 1 thing about this is price. I think that's really what they did well in this is the marketing, the price to it. You guys have all said it. You're going to get 21-year-old for $50. Small, I get it. Good luck finding that anywhere else.
It's true. Nowhere.
Yeah.
It's a blend.
Never.
So that's huge. So I'm going to give it props for that. Here's the cons. It's small. It's not that complex on the nose. It's very one-dimensional. And I'm not getting a whole lot of complexity on the palate as well. I'm getting, if I'm looking to get a nice sherry finish, etc., this brings it, but not a whole lot of complexity for me. If I'm buying a 21-year-old Scotch, yes, I know it's cheap as far as $40, $50, but I'm looking for a little bit more complexity than what I'm getting. Hell, bring Naked Grouse to this conversation here, and I'm thinking, it's sherry too. It's single malt. It's not a blend, but it's not that far off.
I think this is better than that, though.
I'm just saying. I'm not
Okay.
arguing who's better.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying.
fair. Maybe 3.5 is too. You're right. All of you are right.
Well, that's okay, but I'm just thinking through
It's all
it. So,
subjective.
Yeah.
Do I like it? Hell yeah, I really like it. I think they did a good job with what they have. I think they marketed it perfectly. I think that's the key. I'm going to give it points for that one. I'm gonna go 2.5 on this one because I was gonna go 2 for
2.5.
flavor. But I'm gonna go 2.5 because of the price. I think for what you're getting, I think for a 21-year-old for $50 and a nice sherry flavor, it's great. If you're looking for complexity and everything else, you do some other options that are better.
All right, so 2.5, 3.5, and thinking.
I'm shaking.
You're a 3,
I'm
right? All right, I'm gonna go for a 1. No.
Oh, no, you're not. I knew you were going to say that. Come on, man.
So I'm really, I agree with a lot of what you said, Drew. Like, I like the bottle. I mean, when we were at the liquor store, it's an eye-catching bottle. It
Oh, yeah.
commands
Beautiful.
attention. The box is pretty. The bottle itself, I mean, it's a heavyweight bottle.
It's like an iPhone box.
The marketing
It's
itself.
like an iPhone box. It's exactly what
The
it's
marketing itself is really nice. And I think what they've done with the whiskey itself is really nice. I like the fact that it's non-chill filtered. Not,
Yes.
it's natural color.
Yes.
21-year-old. I like the 4-stage aging process. I
Yes.
think is interesting. Do I think that it necessarily adds a lot of depth and complexity? I don't know. I mean, is it a marketing gimmick
Yeah.
or is it something that actually does something? That one I'm not sure
probably
about.
both, yeah.
Probably depends on what kind of barrel you're putting it in.
Yeah.
If you're rolling it from one spent barrel to a new spent barrel,
Right.
probably not adding a whole lot of complexity. But
But you can say you did it.
but you can say you did
Yeah.
it, right? So I think that it's unique at least, and it's at least worth giving them props for trying something different. So I like a lot of the things that they've done. Now to the whiskey. I like the sherry notes. I think that they come with a decent amount of sherry on the nose, on the palate. It was lacking some complexity, so I kind of dinged it a little bit for that. And it brought a strong cinnamon note at the end. Even with water, it went away a little bit. It diminished it, but it never really went away completely. So it wasn't hitting me quite right tonight. But I think all in all, the whiskey itself is pretty good. And I like the fact that you can get what I would consider a higher end whiskey for a price that's not going to break your bank. $50. I mean,
21-year-old.
and if you're looking for something that's, if your normal spend is, 35, 45, $50 for a bottle, yes, this is only a half bottle, but it lets you try something new and unique, and maybe that's, a step above your normal punching power to see if you even like it. Do I think it's comparable to a single malt? No, it doesn't. It lacks that mouthfeel and and the
Because of
layers and
schnapps.
depth and complexity. But I think it's still a really good whiskey, and I think it's worth the price. So I'm going to go a 3 on that one.
Boom.
Scotch snobs.
Because you're right.
Oh, it's a single malt. It's not a single malt. I don't know what to
Are you
do.
All right,
changing
Mr.
yours?
3.5.
No, I'm gonna say
Are you changing yours?
3.5 is maybe a little bit high, but it's right on the edge. So you know what? I'm gonna go 3.5. I'm
All right.
sure we'll get all sorts of comments on it.
Well, it's
That's a fun
an
one.
interesting bottle.
It is.
Good conversation. I think they did. Whoever is doing the marketing for this, guys.
Winner, winner.
knows?
You know what? Another point to make. No tariff on this bad boy.
That's true because it's a blend.
Oh, that's why it's so cheap.
It's a blend.
It's a blend.
Didn't even
So
think
you
about
can still
that.
get a good quality whiskey and avoid that
Tariff.
stupid tariff, which...
So there's that.
So
All right, so
all right,
one more time.
anyway.
You did a 3, 3.5,
Yep.
2.5, and a 3.
that makes
The math.
3.0.
That's pretty easy to
Okay,
do.
USA.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.
Dewars 21.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.